What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Snug Wrestling Podcast. We are here with the entire Snug Crew to go over Monday Night Raw, the final Raw before Cena's final match. We're like literally like fucking 5 days away to John Cena's final match now. And this is the go home show for Saturday night's main event this weekend. And it was pretty interesting show. I mean, we had a couple women's matches that revolved around the women's tag team division, the newly updated women's tag team division that's just like super stacked now. So that was pretty cool to see. We also saw the mysterious masked man again, the guy that showed up at Survivor Series, showed up a couple times on this episode of Monday Night Raw, but we still don't know who that person is, unfortunately. So yeah, man, a lot of interesting stuff happened on this episode of Monday Night Raw. But before we get into that, welcome back, fellas. Long time no talk. It's been 24 hours since we last recorded the SmackDown review. How y'all feeling tonight?
Feeling pretty good. I said this before we went live, but it's what a weirdly paced ending to the show. I'm not saying it threw the whole show off for me because the show was there was a few things we'll go over that I was like, that's a decision, that's interesting, and not in like the best, but more like I'm perplexed. But the ending of the show, the last 15 minutes of the show, insanely confusingly paced, and we're going to get into it, and I got quite a few things to say, but the one thing that I will say before I pass it over without giving too much on my thoughts going into the main event, I cannot tell if they are trying to bury LA Knight or set him up for a repackage, but it was a fucking confusing ending of the show, especially following how they made him go out on SmackDown just last weekend. So we're going to get into it, but this show left me with more questions than answers, but I'm not saying that's in a good way. I'm saying in a what the fuck are y'all writing kind of way.
Any thoughts, fellas? Toxic, Tommy?
Yeah, the
No.
show itself, I do agree that ending was completely weirdly paced, but we will get to that. I didn't like how this shit ended whatsoever. But there was some high moments. There was definitely some low ones, but we will get to all of those later on.
All right, we started off with the John Cena's final opponent, Gunther. He's looking pretty proud of himself coming out. I told you guys it was going to be me. In Gunther, I was interested to hear what he had to say. What asshole shit Gunther was going to say to John Cena. And, you know, he kind of put John Cena over. Yes, he is the GOAT. He is the greatest of all time. However, and we kind of talked about this last night a little bit after we found out that it is going to be Gunther who's going to be facing Cena. They're already like telling a really good story, in my opinion, because this promo was like, hey, you know, I'm going to make you do the thing that you say you will never do. I'm going to make you give up. I'm going to make you tap. And I'm like, man, like what a great fucking way to start off like this really short buildup. It's a few days, but like I want to see what's gonna happen now because hey, is John Cena actually gonna give up after all of these years of him saying I will never give up? Can Gunther actually make John Cena give up? And I'm like, yes, I'm interested in this. I want to see what's gonna happen at Saturday night's main event between these two guys.
So this is exactly what I said about on the SmackDown review, what I believe the story going into Saturday night's main event was going to be for this match. It was going to be predicated around can Gunther make John Cena submit. I said that on the SmackDown review. That's also live now on the Apple and Spotify. If you guys haven't checked it upside out, be sure to watch it. But it made sense. He utilized a brand new maneuver on Friday Night SmackDown, the cravat, and it looks like that's probably going to be the submission that maneuver that he tries to utilize on John Cena in the match. I think that's going to be a high turning point in the match. Or I think that when he's having the match with Cena, nothing else is going to work. Not the sleeper, not the power bomb, not the clotheslines. None of it's going to work until he locks in that cravat. And I think that the cravat is going to be the new monster move of Gunther going forward after he finishes with Cena. And I don't think Cena taps, man. I genuinely think he's going to pass out so they can keep Cena from never giving up. But this entire promo was predicated on Gunther stating, like, he said, I think, after everything you've done, 17 world championships, all these dates on the road, being the face of the company, all of your highlights, yada, yada, yada. He misspoke because he accidentally said, I disagree that you're the greatest sports entertainer of all time. What he meant to say was, I agree that you are the greatest sports entertainer of all time, but I am the greatest professional wrestler of all time. But he misspoke and said disagree instead of agree. I wanted to clear that up in case anybody else got confused when he had said that. But everything that Gunther is and does is, in my opinion, helping the business. He brings a legitimacy to everything that he does. He is an insanely talented individual in that fucking ring. And he is a monster. He's a big fucking heelish monster. He's a big deal. The promo for me worked because the longer it went on, the more vicious, the more aggressive he became. He stared down the camera, his face, his skin starts turning red, the veins are popping, and he's like, I am going to make you give up. I believe him. I don't think John Cena is going to give up, but I believe that Gunther believes that he can make him give up. And I think it was a highly effective promo. So the promo gets a pass from me.
Loved it.
Knowing my opinions about Gunther, you already know that I did not give a shit about this. I literally did not. Why did they have to bury LA Knight? You gave Gunther Goldberg. I mean, can you just give someone else Cena? Still, no one cared about Goldberg, but it's John freaking Cena. Just give someone else. But they're not gonna do that. They just hate us. Because they have to grace us with Gunther. Anyways, just rambling on. Anyways, just the main point of this is I hate Gunther, and I don't know. I just don't like him.
Tox, you're on your own here, man. You're the only one that didn't like this promo.
Fuck you.
Screw you too, bud. But this promo I absolutely loved. And what hurt the most is when he put up that countdown. Because he put up that countdown with Cena on the screen. I'm like, dude, you are definitely digging into how much pain we are going to feel in 5 days' time. So he definitely dug into the feelings of the crowd, of the WWE Universe in itself. And this promo, I absolutely loved because of the fact that it went through with Gunther saying, hey, you may be the greatest of all time, but I am the greatest professional wrestler of all time. And I will be the fifth man to make you tap. Because he's only tapped out 4 times, twice against Kurt Angle. But still, because it was Benoit, it was Kurt Angle, and then it was someone else I can't remember for the life of me. But
I think it was Jericho, but yeah. I don't know. I don't remember really.
But his main thing was, I will be that 5th tap out that you will deal with.
Yeah, man. Lovely promo. I felt what Gunther was saying, man. And like Blood said, I believed every single word Gunther said. And I think that's, the whole point of having a good promo. And I'm like, yeah, man, I want to see that. you know, which is the point of all this. The promo is supposed to make you want to watch what's going to happen, make you want to watch the match, and I'm with it, man. As much as Toxic hates Gunther, I'm really looking forward to this match. But let's move on to the first match of Monday Night Raw: Kairi Sane versus Io Sky. And as much as I really don't give a shit about Kairi Sane, I can admit when the match is good, and I got to give props to these two women. They know each other really well, and I can appreciate the work that they do. They're really talented, both of these girls. Kairi Sane, also, and then you had Rhea Ripley in the corner of Io Sky, and you had Asuka again in the corner of Kairi Sane, just with the shenanigans, and the people fucking went crazy as soon as Rhea Ripley got her hands on Asuka after Asuka kept interfering in the match over and over again. And the match was fun, it was exciting, and Io Sky got the victory. Again, the women's tag team division is looking stronger than ever, exactly how Wade Barrett put it. But I thought this was a cool, nice little way to, set the tone for the show with this first match.
Um, I am the opposite of you, where I am a massive Kyrie Sane fan. I love Kyrie Sane. My wife was always, whenever she's on screen, because I always say Kyrie's name a certain way because I'm excited to see her. My wife goes, "Say it, say the thing," and so when she comes out, I go, "Kyrie," but because I love Kyrie because she's just adorable. But I mean, she's a 36-year-old freaking Japanese woman, but she's adorable. She looks like a fucking, she's just so cute. But she's also an insanely good wrestler, and I don't care what anybody says. The WWE style be damned. I watched her wrestle in the Japanese scene, and that woman is fucking vicious when she's wrestling strong style. I mean, you saw a few weeks ago when she was versing the last time, and she hit her with an Alabama slam, fucking top, shoulder, neck first on the apron. And I was like, this is not Mortal Kombat, Kyrie. Calm down. Holy shit. But the reason that these two have such great chemistry together is, aside from wrestling on the in the Japanese scene with each other plenty of times, we've seen this match a million fucking times in the last 3 fucking months. And actually longer, since the story started with Kyrie and Asuka trying to originally control Io, and then Rhea trying to free Io from whatever weird type of provocation she had with Asuka. And as much as I enjoyed the match, just because I like watching these two wrestle, I'm sick and tired of watching them wrestle each other. I'm sick and tired of seeing the combination of Io or Rhea versus some combination of Asuka and Io, or like when we were trapped in the fucking vortex that was Raquel and Roxanne versus fucking Lyra and goddamn Bailey. Like, it feels like we just keep seeing the same matches, even though the women's division and the tag division is getting really interesting and good. And I'm giving it to them because I love what I'm seeing for the most part. There's so many women involved. All I am asking for is some goddamn variety in these one-on-ones. Like, I mean, can we have them versus anyone else than Io, Kyrie, Io, Asuka, Asuka, Rhea, Io, Rhea? Like, I mean, for Christ's sakes, like, change it up a bit, please, because it's getting old hat really fucking quickly. It was old hat a month ago. Other than that, it was a great opener. Io won. Great. We knew she was going to win. But stop it.
The match was fine, but there was only one problem I had with this is I already saw this match. Like, no, literally, I saw this in person. This happened whenever I went to Monday Night Raw on the 6th of October, and that match was way better than this one. But this match was okay. Not a lot of hate towards it, not a lot of love towards it, but it was an okay match to me. I mean, yes, there wasn't crazy spots. I mean, well, except for the German suplex that Io did on the apron, that was like the biggest spot in the match, I want to say. But yeah, the match was okay for me.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So the match itself, I liked. It was decent. The suplex in which you both have brought up, holy crap, that thing looked devastating with it being on the apron. So there's that. I would not be surprised if here soon, once again, we get Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. I seriously would not be surprised in the slightest, judging by how these two went off on each other during this match, that we get that match eventually. Once again, I would not like, honestly, I think it might be next week, if I'm being completely honest, and it's going to drive me crazy because we have seen every combination of these four women a ton of times. So WWE, we love you, but how about you mix things up? Because multiple tag teams going against each other one on one practically every week is getting old at this point.
Yeah, I think eventually that's where they're. I mean, this is the tag team division. That was one of the questions that I had during this whole thing. I'm like, why are they having singles matches in the women's tag team division? Like, they should be having tag team matches with one another and just, rack up some wins. Which is the team that has the most wins? They should be the ones getting the title shot. I think instead of just having a combination of each of them having a singles match with each other, they should just have a tag team match. Like, there's so many fucking teams now. Like, just I don't know. But but yeah, that was the opening match. Kairi Sane versus Io Sky. And then moving on here. The next match was the for the World Tag Team Champions. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee defended versus the War Raiders. And okay, we kind of talked about this last week. We had a little debate over this because I was like, fuck, you know what? The New Day brings up a really good fucking point. The War Raiders haven't been on TV since like fucking September, like at least 2 or 3 months ago. But yet they're like, oh, the War Raiders deserve a title shot. Let's just give it to them. Okay, another babyface tag team. And they didn't really wrestle like the babyfaces here. They were beating the shit out of poor AJ Styles and Dragon Lee for the first half of the match. And I'm like, damn, like, okay, these boys came in hot. And I got to be honest, man, this match was kind of rough to watch for me. I don't know what happened. Dragon Lee, he was like, I don't know if it was him, he was off, he had an off night, or if it was the War Raiders, but I was just like kind of worried for some of the spots that they were trying to do. I'm like, man, I hope they don't fuck each other up. Like it was a rough match, dude, for me to watch this. But overall, AJ Styles, Dragon Lee retained. But man, this was kind of brutal.
Yeah, so we had debated this, and again, I'd like to reiterate the entire reason the War Raiders got this match in the first place was because Dragon Lee and AJ, Dragon Lee and AJ literally had gone to Adam Pearce last week and said, "Hey, we want to be fighting champions, but we want to give chances to teams who deserve them." And you were like, "Well, hey, they don't deserve them," and I was like, "Well, hold on." Their reasoning was because the War Raiders never got their rematch when they lost their titles in the first place. Because WWE likes to pick and choose who the fuck gets the rematch clause. They were unfortunately in the short end of that stick and never received their rematch. So AJ and Dragon Lee were like, well, let's give it to them. They deserve it because they had already earned it because they had lost their titles, which was fair. So then we have the match where I will agree with you. Rough. The whole time I'm watching, the only person who seemed to be completely on their game was AJ Styles. Dragon Lee, some rough spots, man. Some rough missed timings on some Hurricane Ranas. His leg placements were not matching up the way that they normally should to help him keep his rotation and balance. 2 times he tried to do a fireman's carry spot on Ivar. That did not go well. At first, I thought he was going to blow his quad out. Then I thought he was going to sling Ivar's neck against the rope the wrong way, even though he's had surgery on that because he almost completely broke his neck in a car accident or a motorcycle accident. And I'm just like worried for his safety. Then he does a jump over the top rope onto Eric for a Hurricane Run on the outside, nearly slips and completely misses him, almost flings himself into the front row. Eric thankfully caught his right side and kept him from overshooting, but his leg placement was off. Then you got Eric who backs into Ivar when Ivar sitting on the top rope, and he's just sitting there so long. Ivar pushes Eric forward, like, dude, go forward for the spot so you can throw Dragon Lee up to me. And then when he throws him up to Dragon Lee almost misses his timing and almost slips on the rope. Ivar had to catch him, and then so he could then throw him back, so he could then flip him into a Hurricane Rana, which he almost slipped off again. And then Ivar had to throw himself into Eric. And I'm just like, dude, like, what is going on tonight? You guys aren't communicating. The timings are off. You're slipping. This would normally be an insanely good match because I don't care what anybody says. The War Raiders are really fucking good. We saw that when Eric went out a couple years ago on that leg injury that took him out for over a year. They had Ivar on the singles division scene for a couple months, and there was that match he had with Kofi Kingston that lit the place up and got "This is awesome" chance. So good that they ran it back the second week. Ivar can go. Eric can go. We know Dragon Lee can go, and we fucking sure as shit know AJ Styles can go. But it seemed that 3/4 of this entire team or this entire collective unit of men were not on the same page. AJ seemed really frustrated at the end of the match. It seemed like he looked kind of disappointed with how a lot of it turned out. And then, of course, that obviously leads to the aftermath with the Usos coming down and the New Day facing off. And we get the announcement that I'm sure we're going to get into in the next segment here, so I won't spoil it. But and we'll wait till we get to that, guys. So we'll wait for that. But it's just this is the match that I was extremely looking forward to because I know what all 4 of these men are capable of. And fuck, man, it was not their night.
Yeah, I agree with Blood. The only one that felt like they were on their game tonight was AJ. I mean, Eric was fucking up, Ivar was fucking up, Dragon was surprisingly messing up. He rarely messes up. But I mean, one part that confuses me, it's that when Ivar goes for the moonsault on Dragon Lee and he hits it, Eric tags him, right? And then whenever Ivar pins Dragon Lee, the ref is counting. So, I mean, the ref is also off of his game, I guess. So, yeah, everyone
Thank
except
you.
AJ.
Sorry to interrupt you. Thank you. I completely forgot that. You are one of one, my brother. Dude, the wrong person was the legal man. The whole last half of the match, the wrong guy was in the ring. Because literally, Ivar, I think it was it Ivar that was the legal guy? And then he was too tired or something. So Eric tagged him, smacked him and tagged himself in, but then let Ivar stay in the match. And I was like, whoa. And then the ref never fucking made the legal tag, even though he looked right at him. And then Ivar was like, hey, you slapped my fucking ass with the tag. But then he still tried to go for the pin. So this whole time that this is going on, I'm like, whoa. Eric's the legal man. And then when they tag later, they switch out. I'm like, no, what are you doing? You tagged. Eric, you're now not the legal man, but Ivar got out on the ropes. What the fuck is going on here? Who got pinned? Who ate the pin, by the way?
I don't even remember.
I can't even remember.
This match was all over the place.
I can't remember either. And I swear to God, because I want to say it was Eric who got pinned.
I want to say it was Eric.
But if Eric got pinned, why? Because there was another tag later. Ivar was the legal man. So they pinned the wrong guy to finish the fucking match.
I mean, that was the only thing that ruined the match for me, is that
Yes,
one
I agree
thing,
with you.
just switching up the legal mans, just ruined it for me. AJ, good job for being the only one that's together.
Yeah, it was rough. It really was. And now that y'all bring that up, the first thing that popped into my head is, by technicality, according to the mindset of a bunch of wrestlers from the past, this match is still going at this point because the wrong man got pinned. So, under a lot of former wrestlers' thought process, the match never ended and it's still going right now. So,
it's like that one Royal Rumble. It's like that one Royal Rumble where what's his name is still technically in the match to this day.
Exactly.
Dude, maybe Becky Lynch is right, man. These referees do fucking suck.
It just reminds me of fucking Ted DiBiase and freaking Cody Rhodes' story. That ref was trying to fuck on me.
That never gets old.
Like, refs are always trying to fuck on somebody because holy shit, this match in general was extremely rough to watch. And I, just like Blood, had a lot of hopes for this match. I was really, really looking forward to it. But unfortunately, there were just too many troubles for me to end up liking it.
Yeah, and then, we had the New Day that was sitting ringside during this whole match, being annoying as hell. Like, you can just hear them yelling, because they were sitting right next to the commentary table. And after the match, they stand up to the tag team champions, they being the New Day. But then we're going to talk about the Usos, the announcement, because I completely skipped over one of the major things that happened on this episode of Monday Night Raw was the Masked Man. So we're going to go back to that. But first, let's talk about this. The Usos showing up after the match between AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus the War Raiders to pretty much announce that the Usos are back in the tag team division. Jey Uso has been losing everything. He lost the tournament. He lost this. He lost that. They need gold. So they're going to go back to what they know best, and that's tag team wrestling. How about that, you guys? How are you guys feeling about this announcement, especially Jey Uso, of all people, back in the tag team division?
It extremely pissed me off. It was the one thing I didn't want them to do with Jay, because all I thought when I saw that was, oh, I guess the experiment's over. And I was like, 2 years and like 3 months of change, they let him have his singles run. And they never even let his singles run be a complete singles run because they had paired him back up with Jimmy before to fight the Vision. And he'd also paired up in 2 different War Games matches back-to-back years. And I'm like, the guy's singles run was barely a singles run, because remember when it started, he randomly became tag team champs with Cody Rhodes too. So I'm like, at what point did you really say you gave Jay a fair chance? You had him lose 4 times to Gunther to beat him on like the 5th fucking try. Then he had, his run was riddled with crap after he won the beginning of this year, because you kept giving him stupid feuds where he's always constantly worried about someone else. Like, he's the champion, but he's always bothering himself with other people's shit. And it subsequently almost gets him screwed. And then you had him lose to the very guy he spent all that time in his story to conquer, Gunther. Then you had him lose to Cody in the King of the Ring or whatever the fuck it was. Then you had him, lose here in the fatal 4-way with Rollins and everybody. And it's just like, you never gave him a fair shake. And then now you want to, after last week, we thought we were going to get some new character development from Jay, like something cool and emotional or unhinged, or maybe we're changing up his character a bit. Well, I guess we're fucking just dropping that out of nowhere after he performed it so well last week, that disgruntled, disheveled, beaten, bogged down, saddened character. And I thought he sold it so well last week when Jackie was trying to talk to him, just to come out this week and go, "Hey, we back together in the tag team division, yo." And I'm just like, the fuck was that? And then you got Jimmy on the mic, kind of dogging him, bro. Like I called him when he got back to the hotel, and we've been taking L's, but all the L's that Jimmy mentioned, he was shitting all over Jimmy. Except for the one thing, or Jay, except for the one thing, he's like, "Oh well, we lost at WrestlePalooza, and we lost at fucking War Games." But I'm like, Jimmy, you also were getting your ass kicked by Solo and the MFTs for like 3 months on SmackDown, and you lost your chance at the U.S. title. I didn't hear you bring that part up. You just brought up all of Jay's failures. So I'm just like, and all I'm thinking is, I loved the intensity that we got from these guys when they turned back and fucking Colcock popped fucking the New Day and then stare down AJ and Dragon Lee. But fuck, man, I'm extremely aggravated because between LA Knight and Jay, WWE is going to sit here and act like they gave these guys a fair shake and a chance. But all they have done is dangle the next level they could reach in front of their faces to never let them grasp it. You only let Jay win the World Heavyweight Championship so you could say that he did it, so you could create a moment at Mania and make it go viral, and that was it. You never had plans with him after. And you never had plans with fucking LA after you let him win the US Championship either. And it just pisses me off. And we're going to get into LA Knight because I'm going to rant my fucking ass off at the end of this goddamn episode. You believe you me.
You know, I don't know why, but I have a feeling that this could be a good thing. Having the Usos back in the tag division. I could see two things coming out of it. One of two, the Usos becoming the new World Tag Team Champions. That would be fine with me. I mean, I don't know why, but it would be fine with me. But and another thing I could see coming out of it is Blood. You mentioned the character for Jay that we saw last week, and that we're not just gonna see that anymore. We just threw it out the window. What if he turns on Jimmy? He just turns on Jimmy while they're having their tag match, and then we get that character.
I could see
But
that. We've had that before, and it sucked.
yeah, it
Because if he
has.
turns on Jimmy, that's who he's ultimately going to feud with. And we don't want to see that again.
Yeah, their first match at Mania sucked. Anyways, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, they're gonna go against Javon Evans and Leon Slater from TNA. And holy crap, that is a dream match. Someone out there, that is someone's dream match. But for it to be like my dream tag match, throw the Usos in there and make it a triple threat tag team match. Yeah, that sounds good to me. But I'm excited for that match, and that's probably one of the whole matches that I'm actually gonna watch. I'm definitely not watching Cena's final match because we all know who.
So I was hanging out with a friend of mine all the way up until this moment. And as soon as the Uso said, "Hey, we're back in the tag team division," my immediate response was, no. Why? No. And so much that my friend Sophia looks at me and just goes, "Hey, you good? What's going on?" I'm like, the WWE did the one thing that nobody wanted them to do. No, this should not be a thing. I was really, really hoping that when they teamed up the first time, when they teamed back up, that was going to be a one-off. That it was just going to be a, hey, we're going to tag with this. That's it. We're up. That's what I was hoping it was going to end up doing, because Jay was doing so well on his own. Even with all the losses that he took, he was still doing quite well on his own. But the problem is, Blood's right. It seems like that entire experiment is over. And Jay will no longer be getting that singles push that he really, really needed, especially after splitting up from the entirety of the bloodline for a while, when he was like, "Hey, I'm out. Deuces. Ooses right before Cody brought him up on the other brand. So I don't like this one bit at all. Mainly because of the fact that I really, really wanted Jay to do his own thing. And that's not what we're going to end up getting anymore.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't really have a problem with this as much as everyone else because it seems like the WWE is putting a lot of attention on their tag team divisions, at least on Monday Night Raw. Well, no, because the women's tag team division is both brands. But if you put the Usos back on the tag team division, kind of like, the women's tag team division, it's pretty stacked. I mean, now you have Jay and Jimmy back on there. You have AJ Styles and, Dragon Lee as tag team champions. I mean, have we ever seen AJ Styles wrestle the Usos like that, like in a tag team match? I think that'd be pretty cool. I think that would be interesting. Having Jay Uso in any division, I think would help. And my God, does the tag team division need some help to make it more fucking interesting, if I'm being honest. So I'm with this, man. I didn't completely hate this. But I completely skipped over one of my favorite parts of this fucking episode of SmackDown was the tension that has been building since last week, or reignited, I should say, again last week between Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio. These two have had a match or two before. I think they wrestled once at like SummerSlam one year or something like that, a while back. And they're back at each other's necks again, man. Rey Mysterio slapped the shit out of Logan Paul last week. Logan Paul got his revenge on Rey Mysterio this week, attacked him from behind while Rey Mysterio was making his way to the ring to face Finn Balor. And then when Rey Mysterio was making his comeback on Logan Paul, the masked mysterious man that showed up at Survivor Series showed up again on this episode of Monday Night Raw, and I was like, oh fuck, maybe we're finally gonna find out who this person is. I wasn't expecting to see this guy back anytime soon, at least, I mean, not for like another month maybe or something. But the only thing I was like, fuck, man, like I hope this guy, this random person, doesn't turn out to be just one of Logan Paul's fucking goofy friends. And they're over here making us think that, oh, it's Austin Theory. Oh, it's this person, it's that person. And it just turns out to be fucking I Show Speed or something stupid like that, Because he came out to help Logan Paul. So I'm like, I don't fucking know. What'd you guys think about all this?
Definitely afraid that it's going to turn out to be one of these fucking YouTubers because keep in mind, I think it's I Showed Speed or Kai Cenat or someone that's been training with Randy Orton and other people on like their streams and crap. And I'm really hoping it's not them. I mean, they don't really have that size though. But
No.
end of the day, like I'm also hoping it's not some red herring bullshit because something I noticed with the Masked Man tonight versus War Games, the body type looked a little different. and I'm like, are y'all just putting random ass motherfuckers in that fucking shit because you haven't decided who it's going to be yet? And that's why you keep his face completely covered. Because watch me like R-Truth or some shit, and it's like, what? Like, so oh God, please no. But I'm pretty sure these guys had a match before for the U.S. Championship. I think when Logan Paul was the U.S. champion, and I think that's the last time they feuded, L.A. Knight, and so it's been a while. I will say I am extremely happy that Logan is more of a mainstay on Raw instead of just popping in and out every couple of months for some match so they can make clips out of him. I like that. I think I said this before last week that we had found out reports that Logan was going to put more of his time into WWE and going forward was going to make it more of a priority. And it's been nice seeing him week to week because it feels like it's fleshing him out more. He's more a part of the show. He's not some, special fucking guest. He's actually getting character development, story development. He's getting to work. He's getting his reps in. And every time I see him, he looks more and more and more in-ring competent. And that's not saying he didn't before. It just feels more like it's becoming second nature to him all the time, and that's a good thing. And I'm glad that he's here as a mainstay because it adds more to the story with the Vision and for him in general. The Masked Man, don't know, but again, like I said, the body type looks slightly different than War Games, and I'm hoping that WWE actually has a fucking plan for this, a direction for this. Because if it's just some random motherfucking extra under that shit week to week until they figure out who they actually want it to be to keep the audience guessing, or watch it turn out to be more than one masked man, you know. But at least we know it's not LA Knight, because the moment his ass got chased off by security, we heard LA Knight's music play just a few moments later. I was like, well, ain't no way he costume changed that quick. This ain't theater. So I was like, okay, well, we know we can at least cross off the list. It's not LA Knight.
Um, not a lot of thoughts about um, what was it? What was it? Logan attacking Ray. Yeah, not a lot of thoughts about that. Uh, I'm surprised we didn't see the Masked Man the week after Survivor Series, but I mean, I guess he's here now. Um, but yeah, not a lot of thoughts.
So, my brother, as much as I love this kid, came up with a horrendous theory on who the hell this could be. I love him. I really do. My dearest brother, it is not Jake fucking Paul. It ain't him. Because his immediate thought process was, oh, it like Logan's in there. It's Jake. No, it is not Jake. It is not even close to being Jake Paul. It's not happening whatsoever. He made that one appearance back when Logan was doing that feud for the undisputed title with Roman Reigns that one time in Saudi Arabia. That was his only appearance, and that better be his only appearance, because we do not need Jake Paul showing up all of a sudden. It ain't him. It better not be him. But yeah, that was the last time that Logan and Ray feuded, was back when he was holding the United States title. And at this point, I say let him feud again. I say let it go. Mainly because of the fact that with Logan trying to put more into WWE, he needs to feud with somebody, and they took out LA Knight. So it ain't him. And it ain't Jake. It's not possible.
I don't know, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if it does turn out to be Jake fucking Paul, dude, because he has a boxing match coming up in like a couple weeks, and it's going to be televised on Netflix. So I wouldn't put it past them if this was a way to promote his fight, or Netflix being like, hey, you guys got to help us, promote this fight, this boxing match that's going to take place on Netflix. I don't know, man.
Only problem with that is kind of hard to promote something that's in a couple of weeks if we can't see your fucking face to know that it's you we're promoting. So that, I don't think it's Jake Paul, because they'd have, if it was Jake Paul, they'd have ripped that fucking mask off him tonight and been like, hey, his match is in like 3 fucking weeks or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, I'm here. I'm helping my brother. Yada yada yada. Let's shoehorn some bullshit reason I cost CM Punk when I could have cost anyone else. It was CM Punk. And I just, like, as a favor to my brother, ran in and screwed him over, and then I'm only here for 3 weeks for the story thread and I'm gone. Kind of insulting to the fans' intelligence, honestly.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping they're not stupid enough to do some shit like that.
Speaking of stupid, no, I'm just kidding. We heard from the women's world champion Stephanie Vaquer, and she cut a promo on Nikki Bella and didn't tell no lies. She was like, "Hey, you might be a Hall of Famer, but times are different now. Now you got me. I'm the greatest wrestler in the women's division. We got Natty, we got Rhea, we got Io. Like, fuck what you did back in the day, you know? And then Nikki's Bella, her music hits, and I'm like, oh man. The feud continues, and sure enough, Nikki Bella was like, I'm not done with you. I was like, oh, fucking great. But then, oddly enough, Nikki gets attacked by Raquel Rodriguez from behind, who's also a heel. So Raquel, the heel, attacked Nikki Bella, who's clearly the heel. And Raquel was like, basically calling her shot on Stephanie Vaquer. If there's going to be one person that's going to get a shot at that title, it's me. I'm next. So, yeah, we have Raquel, we have Nikki, and we have Stephanie Vaquer all in the same picture frame, which can only mean one thing, a fucking triple threat match. I'm sure of it. It smells like triple threat match because it's WWE.
What I think is ridiculous about this whole thing is that both times Raquel is getting her shot, they'll both be on fucking free TV or Netflix because there's no event coming up that she's going to have that shot at. So it's like you can't even get her on a PLE to get a match on like, you know, a much higher platform for herself. You just like she already had a world title shot against her weeks ago, and now she's getting another one. The next PLE's Rumble, dude, and I know they're not saving it till then. So it's probably going to be on the 5th of fucking January or some shit because they're going to try to stack that card as much as possible. You know they are. I will say I've never been happier to see Raquel than coming out there to lay out Nikki Bella, because I had said a couple weeks ago that I literally had stated that, okay, I feel like this is going to be a series between Stephanie and Nikki. I don't see this being a one-off. So when I heard her music, I was like, oh, fuck, I hate being right. And then she got laid out. I was like, yeah, thank you. I was like, Raquel came in clutch. But I know, but then my heart sank because I know that this leads to Nikki interfering in her match with Stephanie. So I was like, we're not even going to get a definitive finish to that goddamn title match, are we? And we didn't even get a definitive finish to the first one because it was also interrupted. So I'm just like, yo, y'all going to give Raquel a fair shake or what? And we saw, you know, Liv's face when she found out backstage in that segment where she was like, what are you doing? Oh, well, what, we have to run everything by you? She's like, no, of course you don't. And then when she's like, oh, great, I'm going to go talk to Adam Pearce. And then she heads off. And then you just see Liv's face following her like, and she turns around and fakes a smile for everybody else. Hey, we're going to do this together, me and you, Roxanne. So she's playing that manipulation game. But I would like it if Liv is the one that cost Roxanne or Raquel out of jealousy. I would like that so we can get the ball rolling on this breakup. But there was one thing that Stephanie said that I thought was kind of weird when she was like, well, back in your day, you know, this is my division now. This is the new times. And she named all these different people. And then she named Natalia. And I was like, Stephanie, Natalia is from Nikki's era. What are you talking about? Natalia came up in the Divas era. Natalia is older than Nikki. Natalia's been wrestling longer than Nikki. Like, Natalia is quite literally a Hall of Famer without the title. So what are you talking about? I was like, Natty is just from the same problematic division Nikki came from. And even when Natty wrestles now, sure, she's a bit more technical, but she's still very much diva coded. So I was like, that don't make no sense, homie.
Oh God, I am so glad that they decided to just give something to Raquel for once. I mean, my God, I don't need to see Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki goddamn Bella again. I don't need to see that again. I mean, just throw something else in it. Sure, I'll see it if someone else is in there and they just take Nikki out and it's mainly Raquel and Vaquer. I'm fine with that. Just no, I don't want to see Nikki in this.
I don't think any of us wants to see Nikki in this, bud, at all. But my thought process on this is simple. Raquel went out there simply because of the fact that Nikki Bella screwed her over. Thank God. Because it ended up going, you can look, but you can't touch. Bam! Like, that's how this shit went. Plain and simple. But honestly, I would not mind a title run for Raquel Rodriguez. I would not mind. But unfortunately, if this title match happens, we're probably going to get the exact same ending as the last one, which is Nikki Bella going, hey, I'm going to screw you over again. And God, we do not need that, which will inevitably lead to a damn triple threat. And why in the world would Nikki Bella need to be involved in this shit? I would literally rather a triple threat happen with anyone else than Nikki goddamn Bella.
Yeah, as much as I would like to see Raquel become champion, man, her booking hasn't been the greatest. I think they have to really put Raquel over more in a more convincing way, make her a real serious threat. Cause I mean, I kind of like it. Kind of reminds me of what they did with like Damian Priest. You know, everything that they did with Damian Priest leading up to him becoming world champion made sense. But I don't think anything that they've done with Raquel Rodriguez in the last few months makes sense for her to become champion, at least not anytime soon. Like the way that Stephanie Vaquer was booked, that made sense for her to become world champion. But Raquel's big, she's threatening, but other than that, that's it.
Nah,
I
it,
mean,
it made more sense 2 years ago when Raquel was still a baby face, when she was Raquel Rodriguez and she was feuding with super fucking heel Rhea, and Rhea was afraid of her, and they were booking her as like this massive foil to Rhea Ripley. That was the time to like give her women's title matches and shit, because they were building her steadily for weeks and weeks and weeks. She was a threat, racking up victories over and over and over again. And they just threw her in the fucking tag scene out of nowhere. And it was like, what the fuck are you doing? You're build the star, continue to build the star. And then she goes out for
yeah.
a while, then returns as a heel. And it was like, okay. And we thought, oh, hey, we're going to get something. We're going to get a heel Raquel. Okay, they're going to make her interesting. And then they made her a fucking background henchman for weeks,
Yeah.
weeks and weeks and weeks until her return cooled off. And it's like
Mhm.
nothing they've done this year is build her up other than anything but in the tag division. And being built up in the tag division does not mean like, oh, well, you're singles main title fucking championship material now. It's like you've had her in the tag division for 98% of her fucking run this year. So
Yeah.
throwing her into this, though I'm happy she's getting a shot to showcase herself, she's not a believable contender. And
Unfortunately, no.
she wouldn't, and she definitely would not be a believable champion right now.
No, definitely not. And I mean, shit, we still got 4 months until WrestleMania. I would like to see this thing get built up for Raquel versus Stephanie Vaquer at WrestleMania. And even if Raquel doesn't win, I would still like to see her in that position, you know? But anyway, we'll see what happens with Raquel. Um, because Liv Morgan, she pretty much made it clear like, hey, Raquel is going to go for the World Heavyweight Championship. So that means that I need a tag team partner. Roxanne, you're going to be my tag team partner. We're going to go after these tag team titles now. So the next match was a singles match, Roxanne versus Lyra. Also to build up the women's tag team division, singles match. Um, I mean, it was just a regular TV match, really. It wasn't anything super terrible. I mean, the work was decent, but nothing too crazy to go writing home about when it comes to this match between Lyra and Roxanne. Liv was out there in Roxanne's corner, which kind of was like that made the big difference in this match. Liv basically assisted Roxanne to get the win, so they have that interesting chemistry now where they're starting to bond and I guess create some type of friendship or tag team. So Roxanne got the win over Lyra.
I have the same problem with this match that I had with Io versus Kyrie. I've seen it too many fucking times this quarter of the year, man. Just too many times. I mean, we were stuck with the combination of Bailey and Lyra versus Raquel and Roxanne for fucking months. So to see this run back again, I couldn't care less. The only interesting thing about this match was Liv. And that's simply and purely because Liv is not trying to build a friendship with Roxanne. She's trying to build a facade, a manipulation, because she 100% at the end of last Monday's Raw held up Raquel and Roxanne's arms as if they were going to be the tag champion, so she could keep her eye on main championship gold. Then Raquel had different plans tonight, and you saw that Liv had to pivot and go, well, if I can't manipulate you, I'll manipulate Roxanne. So this isn't about building a friendship. This is about one way or the other, she is going to get gold on the Judgment Day and then try to screw Raquel out of that championship. I guarantee it. So the only thing I can say is Liv's presence was more interesting than the match itself.
Yeah, I'm with Blood. I have the same problem that I have with Io and Kyrie. I saw it in person. I don't want to see it again now.
Yeah.
Here's the other problem. It's not just here within the last year that we have seen this match over and over and over again. Wade Barrett brought up another place where we've seen this match over and over and over again. And that was in NXT, back when those NXT titles were the rainbow titles. That's the biggest problem. These two literally had a feud over the women's NXT title. And it was this match, this exact match, over and over and over again. So why? Why do you keep putting these two specific women up against each other all the time? It needs to just cool down and again, mix it up. Because this is, again, getting extremely irritating with the fact that it's the same people going against each other over and over and over again.
Fair enough, you guys, but they are trying to mix it up. It's different circumstances, it's a different situation. Is this newly built women's tag team division? Although we have seen this match several times, that thought also came across my mind. There's still a lot of things that are new about this. It was different about this, you know. I didn't totally completely hate it as much as what you guys did. It sounds like, but all right, you guys, the main event, and this match was set up earlier. Logan Paul and LA Knight, and the whole time, like, yes, this match was going to be really good because they're two really good workers. Logan Paul and LA Knight, great workers. But the whole time I was waiting to see the mysterious masked man show up again because let's be for real. We all knew he was going to show up again. And he did. Cost LA Knight the match, but we still don't know who this fucking guy is. But it was a really good finish, entertaining match. It ended with the Vision being out there. I thought it was pretty crazy seeing Paul Heyman out there in Logan Paul's corner as his manager was also something that really stood out to me. But yeah, man, at the end of it, it was basically 5-on-1. LA Knight was out there solo dolo, no backup. No one came out to help him. He got fucking squashed. He got tsunami left and right. On the top of a car, they went backstage. They put him through a table. Thank you for coming, LA Knight.
All right, I'm about to rant, motherfuckers, and this is the clip. This is the clip for the socials because I want to see what other people think about this shit. The match, great. These guys have chemistry. I love seeing Logan Paul work, love seeing LA Knight work, and I also love that Paul Heyman was in Logan's corner just like you. That was something that definitely stood out to me because now we know Logan's a Paul Heyman guy. My thing, what the fuck are you doing with LA Knight? On Friday, you had him lose to Gunther in an insanely good match, mind you, where LA proved he can go. He proved he is main event level material. You had him tap out to the cravat, a new maneuver in Gunther's arsenal that we've never seen him use before. Okay, why has everybody else this year that Gunther has faced that was a main event player like LA Knight or upper mid card fall asleep or pass out in pain to his submissions? But you made LA Knight tap out instead. You didn't let him pass out to be a tough son of a bitch like you let Jey Uso and you let everybody fucking else that he faced. You made him actually give up. And I know that's probably because you needed somebody of an upper tier to give up to show that if they can give up, maybe John Cena can give up. But at LA Knight's expense, it's stupid. Because let me ask you this. Jay can beat Gunther, but LA can beat Jay, but LA can't beat Gunther? Make that make fucking sense. And then on top of that, LA Knight can beat Solo Sikoa, but Solo can almost beat Gunther. Then we come to tonight, where the end of this show, the pacing was fucking atrocious. We go from the match to commercial break, back to an in-ring promo, intercut with backstage footage of LA trying to come back to the ring. Now we have fucking Logan Paul and we have Bronson Reed run to the back. We follow them all the way out of the ring as the promo is still going on off fucking camera. Then we cut to the promo again from Braun Breaker. A decent promo, a little weaker compared to last week's. Great line saying he'll steal CM Punk's wife, clarifying he wants the old CM Punk. I get it. Then the promo still goes on, then randomly ends as we cut back to them already beating the shit out of LA Knight, drag him through the backstage, put him through a table. He's still trying to fight. Okay, so are we protecting LA Knight now because he lost in a 5-on-1 assault and distraction? So what is it? Are we burying him to Gunther and making him the one guy that didn't pass out and show how tough he fucking was, but he actually had to give up? Or are we going to protect him with 5-on-1? Or are we writing him off? Because then they put him through a fucking car roof by tsunamiing him from a car. So what is it? Is it a write-off and repackage? Is it we're burying him and we have no idea what we're doing with him? Or is it we still want to keep him strong and protect his character in defeat so he can return maybe on the 5th of January? Either way, why are you yanking LA Knight around the way that you fucking are? And why are we ending Monday Night Raw in such a abysmal and chaotic fucking mess of back and forth ping pong of what we're supposed to focus on? Like, who paced this episode? It was fucking terrible. It was distracting as shit because while I'm trying to get into Braun Breaker's promo, I'm wondering what the fuck's going on with LA Knight and half listening to Braun. Then I'm watching them run out of the ring while I'm still trying to half focus on Braun. Now I've forgotten about Braun and now I'm focused on LA Knight. So what the fuck, guys? Write this shit better. Okay? Write it better. Because we don't know what's going on with LA. And I don't know who the end of the show was more about, Braun Breaker and getting him over or LA Knight and writing him off.
Just no thoughts whatsoever about it. I mean, I kind of expected everything. I mean, Masked Man's caused LA the match, and then the Vision jumps him. I mean, it's kind of predictable, so I didn't even no thoughts. Just it was predictable, so yeah.
The only thought that I really have on this, because Blood pretty much said everything that was in my head for sure, is just the fact that if WWE is in a new era, you better believe that cars will be abused in ways that you will probably be thinking, including a tsunami on somebody. So that was my only main thought process on it. because of the fact that, just like Blood said, you couldn't tell who the hell this ending was for. Was it for Knight being able to write him off for a bit? Or was it for Breaker to hype up his match on January 5th? Makes no damn sense on how the hell this ended. I completely agree with Blood. You seriously need to figure out a way to pace this shit correctly, because this ain't it.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of shit that happened in that very ending of Monday Night Raw tonight, man. From everything from the Masked Man, to the attack on LA Knight. But yeah, it was a weird ending, man. For the show was going pretty well for me up until the very end, if I'm being honest, because like when they were beating up on LA Knight, they being Logan Paul and Bronson Reed, the security guard was shit. I mean, they usually are shit. It's fake security, right? It's just like local indie wrestler guys, but like this time it was extra bad. Like they were just standing there. A couple of them were just standing there while Bronson Reed and Logan Paul placed LA Knight in the car, and then Bronson Reed climbed up, and they're just all watching it happen, and then no one's stopping it, and I'm just like, fuck, all right. And then Bronson Reed goes for the dive, and then to add more, I guess, drama, more chaos to the moment, I think the alarm was supposed to go off on the car, and it didn't. So they were just trying to honk the horn of the car to make it look like, oh, Bronson Reed destroyed this fucking car with LA Knight on it, but it just looks so bad. It looks so phony. Everything about that whole entire segment, it was just awkward. It was just not good, man. I hate to say it.
It just sounded like someone was clicking the lock button on the fob
Yeah.
over and over again. Like, because I'm sitting there thinking, like, he's trying to sell, but now I'm distracted by like, what the fuck's wrong with the car?
Like, yeah, like don't even do it at all. Like just fucking all right, you smashed them on the car there.
I mean, you remember when he tsunami Braun Strowman, and he fucking blew the entire fucking roof of the car out.
The windows broke. It was smoking.
Shattered. That was epic as fuck. I'm like, y'all couldn't maybe do this on a more less durable hood, like roof of a car to make this more impactful? Because it didn't even look like he dented the top of the thing. Like now I kind of want to know, like, what's the government crash test safety rating on this bitch? This thing's sturdy as shit. Like that's a 335-pound man.
It was just not
8 feet out of the air, and he barely dented the roof.
Like, it was just not necessary, dude. Like you could have gotten away with that if you just put him through like another table or something. Like,
or better yet, you could have had the whole show end on the dominance of the Vision. And the promo, and have 2 weeks in a row where Braun Breaker ends on such a crazy promo. Then next week, the show could have ended on writing off LA Knight. Why did you cram it all into the last like 8 to 10 minutes? It was weird, bro.
I wonder who produced that fucking last segment, dude. That's what I wonder if
Triple H was even. I wonder if Triple H was even at the show tonight, because fuck, man, that kind of pacing has Bruce Pritchard written all over it, because Bruce comes from Vince's era, and that's some fucking Vince McMahon ass pacing, bro. That is some Vince McMahon ass pacing. I mean, and by the way, like you're supposed to end the show on like this crazy note where like everybody's adrenaline's up. You took us from the adrenaline of the match to then now the promo. Now we've calmed down so we can listen. And then, now you're trying to ramp us back up for what's going on backstage. But he's still talking in the ring. So now we're coming back down to keep trying to pay attention to what he's saying. And then you're backstage fully, now that the promo's over. And it's like, okay, well, now the goofiness starts. Bullshit fucking security. And they're walking us to the back. And they're taking forever to get on top of the fucking car. And I'm like, yank his leg. Pull him down. His foot's hanging over the side. What are you doing? And then I'm trying to suspend my disbelief. And I'm like, if that's me, I would have been like, you're safe. Like, run, nigga, run. Like, like it was
flat.
It was very flat.
It was a flat ass finish, unfortunately.
And both bring up the security and all of that. They showed up like 3 at a fucking time. Why?
Yeah, I'm like, y'all just like staggered. Like, I like how some of the security came from like the table spot. Leave him alone, leave him alone. And they're punching him and everything. And then they just like walked all the way over. I'm like, wait, y'all only got like, they shoved you and like one of you got like punched once. Like, and now there's new security over at this part of the spot. And I'm like, what? You tell me y'all weak ass, lame ass motherfuckers got laid out from getting shoved? And now totally different security stuff. You only walk 20 feet. Like, like
Yeah,
what's
we
going
all know you
on?
guys are wrestlers. You guys can take a little bit more damage than that, you know.
Oh
Like,
my god. It's not like it's not like Stan getting super kicked by freaking HBK back in the day. Hi, what's your name? Stan? Hi, Stan. See, I just kicked Stan. Like,
yeah,
like that's a fucking finishing
Sean
maneuver.
Spears.
Yeah, that's his finishing maneuver. Like some of these guys got shoved off the camera and sold it like they got shot out of a fucking cannon. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, guys, for fuck's sake.
But for what it's worth, I really enjoyed Braun Breaker's promo. I thought it was better than than last week's promo, if I'm being honest.
I honestly thought last week's was a bit stronger because he was a bit more ferocious. And the reason it was better is because the whole ending of the show was the promo.
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, not the entire end, but the entire end of that segment, that whole segment was the promo. That's why it worked better. This was intercut with so much bullshit that like he's doing the promo. They're cutting away from him to focus on Bronson Reed and Logan Paul running up the ramp.
Yeah.
Then like he's cutting a promo while there's the Tron has LA backstage. So the fans' attentions are split. The promo's not landing all the way because you're taking people's attention off of what he's saying. So for me, last week's was stronger because they just kept it simple and let him go.
Yeah, also I think it was like the middle of the show or something
Yeah.
like that. Like it wasn't the last segment.
No, I don't know if it was the first segment either. It was no, it was like third or fourth segment. Yeah, it was like
Yeah, it was like the middle, like the top of the hour, I think, or something like that.
Yes, it was. You are correct. Yes, it was.
So yeah, fucking A, man.
But
Crazy
guys,
stuff.
Thanks for tuning in. That's the end of the episode. Thanks for kicking it with us as always. If you like our wrestling content, you can hang out with us every Monday and Friday night after Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown go off the air respectively for post-show live reviews. And you can catch those live reviews on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook Live. And for bonus content, reaction content, that is, if you like it, you can check out the socials during the actual shows to get live reaction content as the shows are currently on the air. Then you can always kick it with us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on TikTok Live, where myself, Mr. Blood, and that handsome Mexican over there, Edgar, the host of Snug Wrestling, go one-on-one for an hour where we discuss current or random wrestling topics and answer your fan questions live. Then mark your calendars because this upcoming Wednesday, so just 2 days from today, we are doing the live predictions at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific for Saturday night's main event, aka the end of John Cena's career, the final match where we are sending off Mr. Hustle, Loyalty, and Respect. So tune in for that and our predictions of that night. And remember to head on over to our TeePublic/Snug Wrestling, where you can support the podcast with well over 50 designs for wrestling merchandise supporting the podcast Snug Wrestling. Those links are in all of our socials and here on the Apple and Spotify links, as well as in the bio. So until next time, stay safe, stay savage, and stay snug. And because we got the whole crew here, I said that was one time for the one time. I said that was
Four letters.
Oh, let us.
One
one
word.
word. The
Huh.
Yeet.